Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from the Redolessence channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate your support and your viewership. It means a lot to me. And in today's episode, we're going to be taking a closer look at one of the newest releases by the company Haramain, and this one goes by the name Amber Oud Gold Edition. So stay tuned. Now, before I begin the video, I do want to mention that there are two versions of this fragrance floating on the market. So you have the Gold Edition, which I have here in front of me, which I'm reviewing today. And then you also have the original. Now, Fragrantica.com actually has both of those fragrances listed on their database, which is awesome. But then a lot of the people commenting for this one were actually talking about the original, and people who were commenting on the original are talking about this one. And having had a chance to smell both, but not only just smell the clones, but the fragrance of which it's a clone, I picked up on the mistakes that other people were making. And so just be very careful. I don't want you going out there, if for some reason you are interested and you want to purchase it, I don't want you buying the wrong one, because then you're going to come back here and say, wait, it doesn't smell like that at all. So this one is the Gold Edition. This one is supposed to be a clone of Erba Pura by Sospiro, which falls under the Xerjoff umbrella. The original Amber Oud, not the Gold Edition, is a clone of Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille, which I have somewhere here behind me. And so they are two totally different fragrances. So the original smells like tobacco. It has this spiced vanilla, sort of Cavendish tobacco, kind of a vibe to it with cinnamon and some other spicy notes in there. And then this one is a fruity scent. So it has dried fruits. It has, there's like a melon note that's listed in the note breakdown for the clone version. There is, oh gosh, there's musk, there's amber, there's a plethora of notes in here. And I'm excited to let you know if I think this is a solid release, or if this is a worthwhile pickup if you are a fan of the fragrance of which this one is a clone. But let's go ahead and start things off with a very quick look at the awesome presentation. So the presentation for this one is gorgeous. It has the name of the company up here, the name of the company, and the name of the fragrance down here at the bottom, and then here it says Gold Edition. So just keep in mind there is going to be one that's a Gold Edition and one that's not. It opens up just like that. And there's a silhouette on the inside in which the bottle rests. And of course, when you turn this one around, you'll see all of your information, your UPC, and your serial number printed on the box in the bottom right-hand corner. Now, in terms of the bottle, this is a 60 ml bottle. It has a plaque here on the front. It says Haramain Amber Oud Gold Edition. The cap does click into place very nicely. You can pick this one up from the cap, no problem. The distribution on the atomizer is nice and wide. And the bottle also has a pretty unique shape as well. Let's continue with the smell. So as soon as this fragrance opens up, you are going to get a blast of that fruity appeal. And so it does smell very fruity, as a matter of fact. It has this melon vibe. I don't know if it's cantaloupe or honeydew or whatever, but it opens up very sweet, very fruity. And I love whatever ingredient is in here that is giving off that vibe. And like I said, this one is a clone of Erba Pura, which is another scent that I absolutely love. I don't own a bottle of it, unfortunately. I have a couple of Sospiros, but I do not own a bottle of Erba Pura. My friend Carlos does. And so when I went over his house and he has this bottle as well, I actually had a chance to try his, and I did a side-by-side, and they are so close, guys. But you guys know me. I always advocate, if you are a fan of the real thing, whether it's Erba Pura or Aventus or Green Irish Tweed, I advocate that you go out there and you try the real thing, right? Because there's always going to be some disparity, there's always going to be some difference, but I know there's certainly a market out there for people who are interested in buying a more inexpensive iteration of something that sells for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And so if that's the case with you, you may actually wish to save a little bit of money by purchasing this version, which also smells quite excellent. It smells very, very good. So it opens up with this fruity appeal. It feels like there's a lot of different ingredients working together to sort of create this fruity accord that you get in the opening. Once it starts to dry down, yes, some of those ambery nuances, do start to peek their head through. I do get namely vanilla, perhaps a little bit of tonka bean. It's very sweet, it's creamy, although quite literally I would put it in gourmand category. But I think when you think of a gourmand scent, you typically think of spun sugar, sugar cane, something that's confectionery, whipped cream. You don't really get that here. It doesn't smell juvenile in that sort of a way. It also I would say doesn't really smell very playful. Despite the sweetness and despite the edible quality of this fragrance, it's very wearable, and it also conveys just this scent of opulence, right? The sense of luxuriousness. And I like that about it, right? It doesn't smell like anything else on the market, with the exception of Erba Pura, of course. So it doesn't smell like every other scent. It doesn't try to go in the direction of any other scent. It has this unique aroma profile to it, which I actually really enjoy with this one. It does get a little musky in the base, not overly so, and it's definitely not a musk that veers in animalic territory. It kind of gives off more of a clean vibe. And so what you're going to get from this one is an ambery, fruity scent. That's the best way to put it. Overall, I really do enjoy this scent. I'm actually quite happy to have this scent because now I will be wearing it as an alternative to Erba Pura, which I do not own. I have Overture and I have one other one which I have been enjoying thoroughly, but I'm looking forward to purchasing Erba Pura because this smell is awesome. And so this is once again the gold edition. I actually really like this scent. I hope you guys have some means by which you can sample this before you buy, so you can try it out for yourself. It is a gorgeous scent, and I think that for a cheaper iteration of a more popular scent, they actually did a wonderful job with this one. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, of course, I do have to call a spade a spade. I don't find this to be a unique scent because it is a more inexpensive iteration of an expensive fragrance that's already on the market. But still, when you're comparing it to the original, I think there's a little bit of money to be saved here. So definitely it's an overall smell that is very pleasant. It's very easy to get along with, and it's quite addictive. And so I like it for that reason. And I've actually been wearing this one a lot, and I will continue to wear it. And the presentation is also awesome as well. In terms of the longevity on this one, I was really impressed. I got 8+ hours, somewhere between 8 and 10 hours, and performance-wise, when it comes to projection, this one was really loud. And so there's not a whole lot of citrus in here. I think the original composition does have a lot of citrus listed in it, orange and bergamot, and perhaps I do get a little bit of the citrus in here, but like I said before, it's really more about the dried fruits. And despite that, despite the absence of a lot of citrus notes, I actually got really good projection from this one. Projected for about a solid 2 to 3 hours, and then it sat a little bit closer to the skin. Versatility on this one is great. I think because the performance is so good, one would be inclined to wear it when the weather gets a little bit colder outside. But I think that a lot of those fruity notes that are in there, I know they list pineapple as a note for this one, is they also have this sort of fresh tart appeal about them as well. And so you could probably pull off wearing this one in the hotter weather as well. All occasions, as long as you can afford it, right? So if this is a bit too pricey for you, you might not want to wear it casually. You might want to save it for more formal occasions. And in terms of the presentation for this one, I think it's gorgeous. They really outdid themselves. My final verdict on this one is, as far as the scent itself is concerned, I love the smell. I think it's a very well done scent, very well pieced together. I love the complexity of it. I love the different ingredients that come together to create that overall vibe. Now, of course, the ultimate factor will be, do I want to purchase this one, or do I want to fork out an extra couple $100 and buy the original? It's totally up to you. I think that everybody should have the freedom to express themselves, and everybody should have the freedom to make their own purchasing decisions. So definitely go out there, smell them both, do a side-by-side for yourself, see what you're interested in. Personally, I am a huge fan of the House of Xerjoff. I'm admiring my bottles from a distance. I do have Xerjoff bottles, and I do have Sospiro bottles, and so I think this one is a nice one to hold me over until I eventually acquire a bottle of Erba Pura, but definitely give this one a shot. I think you'll like it. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. That was my review of Amber Oud Gold Edition by Al Haramain. If you own or have tried this scent, please let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Also, please don't forget to subscribe for future videos, and remember to enable notifications by clicking on the bell. This way, whenever you do, or whenever I do put out new content, it will get delivered straight to your feed. You never need to worry about missing any of my future uploads, and that includes reviews just like this one, top 10s, unboxings, and a lot of other fragrance related content. Thanks again for watching. I love you guys, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.